Hello, peoples and peepees. Welcome to another week of the podcast with Shalama and I. The Shalama _ on Twitch TV. Your glass bald cowboy. And me, Anca, your hairy testicle spider cat.
Okay.
Yes.
Hello there, testicle spider cat.
It's just the saggy big saggy head that is hairy that creates these associations. Maybe the body too. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
So, Shalama,
Yeah. Well,
how you been?
Fun. Well, yeah, I've been. I am still as well.
And I hope you will be as well.
Yeah, I mean that's all we can hope for, right? To keep being. That's kind of how it is, you know. I existed today, and I existed at the gym today, and I existed on the way home, and now I exist at home with a full belly and a freshly washed body.
What an amazing existence!
Yeah, marvelous. I am perturbed at my own existence and how it keeps persisting. How about you?
Yeah, I've existed in several places this week as well.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been insane.
That's wackio.
You know how many places you can exist at the same time?
One?
No, because you exist in the minds of everybody you've ever met.
Do I though?
Yes.
How does one define existence? Is it just any kind of presence?
Yeah, including wrapped presence.
So every VOD that I've ever made, produced on stream, any screenshot that has me in it somehow.
Yeah, that's a clone of you.
That's a clone of me, yeah. Well, that's interesting. Sure. Yeah, why not? Yeah, this little known fact, which sounds like it's something that is a previous thing, but it's very recent. This is the second attempt at doing this podcast because Anca accidentally closed the tab we were recording.
You didn't need to tell them that.
They needed to, because now I can show you this link, because I blamed Anca for having too many tabs open. And funnily enough, this week there was a news story for the record of the most tabs open for the longest time in Firefox.
Oh my God, there's somebody who had a 7,400 plus browser tabs open for 2 years.
Yes. Yep.
Well, that person definitely pushed the program to its limits.
Yeah.
She doesn't plan on closing them anytime soon either.
There's a tweet in there that is the backstory of how this came out, basically.
Thank you to everyone who provided info on how to restore an old session from the profile cache. I feel like a part of me is restored.
Yep. Firefox refused to restore their session that they have had going for 2+ years, over 7,000 tabs down the drain. And then that tweet got 5.1 million views. And people helped this person restore their absolutely vile amount of tabs in Firefox.
I mean, how is that possible?
I don't know. I guess it's Firefox might be using it now as an advertisement, like, because I mean Chrome would have probably broken already, I guess.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, clearly, if Firefox can have 7,000 plus tabs open, it must mean something.
I want to know what kind of system they ran this on. Do they have like a very high RAM system, or is the usage so low that it doesn't even matter?
I mean, this only says that it's on a Mac.
Oh, then that's just 8 gigs of RAM, because apparently that's all Apple things anybody ever needs.
A Mozilla rep confirms to PC Mag that having tons of Firefox tabs open consumes, and quote, practically no memory whatsoever. That's not true, man.
I mean, maybe because it's essentially just kind of a bookmark, I guess. Do open tabs persist at all? Because if I I never use my browser like this. I am the cleanest browser user, apart from my bookmarks, which might get a little messy sometimes. But I clean those up too, and I never leave tabs open. I have never in my entire life left a tab open. When I'm done browsing something, I close the window and everything is gone. I mean, there's a history. I mean, that's kind of the point many people have brought up. Like, why do you need every tab open? You can literally go into the history.
Well, I don't like going into the history so much. I also don't leave stuff open that much either. Like, eventually I do close things, but because I have different containers that I these days, this is how I function. I don't know. In the past, I didn't have this whole, like, a different container for each aspect of my life. And then I would just have a ton of tabs open. And also try to save sessions, but I like invariably end up losing sessions and then starting from scratch with new tabs. And now I have containers, like I have kind of like a private thing, a streaming thing, a work thing, a shopping thing, and one where I have secret access to your stream, or used to, because I no longer do that because I accidentally cleaned my cookies.
Yeah, no, you cannot make cursed alerts of my clips anymore until I give you access again.
Yeah, well, any moment now, I'll have you log in via Parsec, and I'll restore my lost power.
Maybe. I'll consider it. There are so many alerts because I can never say anything without it being recorded for eternity and replayed to me every single stream.
You're just so submissible and memeable.
What? Wow. I see. Well, maybe they should all be very expensive. So it's not that easy to exploit my...
Come on. Nobody redeems them anyways. Like, if they were getting redeemed...
I know one person that redeems them.
Well, except me, but even I barely redeem them.
But I still have an open question. How do you preserve a session on Firefox? Do you? How? I don't even know how that's possible.
I don't know how it's done either. Like, I can do it with this sidebar app that I use, but I keep forgetting to do it. I can make a snapshot of that current state of my browser, and then I could restore that if I wanted to, but I keep forgetting to navigate there and check.
I guess... yeah, they must be one of these people that never turn their computer off then.
Yeah, or maybe... But then
people also just do. I don't understand that either. Like, what, you never flush your RAM entirely. You never do a reboot. You install drivers at some point and stuff, I'm sure.
I don't think you can. I mean, I don't know how you could afford to never restart your computer, because shit gets so slow and unfunctional at some point, let alone you also have to install updates and everything.
I don't know. I mean, there's some big streamers that I've seen clips from saying that they had not turned off their computer in a year, but they also only play one game.
Well, I don't know how that's possible.
I don't know either. I think at work it also happens often that people just leave their computers on. Like at my last job, it also felt like people just leave their shit on. And
the problem is,
standby.
I don't understand what this person did. Like, did this person just have a local profile that needed to be restored, or did they actually have a cloud save of all these tabs?
I guess they call it a session. Hazel, who preferred to not give her last name. The tabs were open on her computer, and the browser was just not able to restore them, apparently. So I guess maybe... I also like how this person gets the title like in an MMO or something, or like a fantasy storytelling thing. Firefox power user, Hazel. They now get to put that's like a lordship or something,
Power user. Is that all it takes to be a power user, just having thousands of tabs? I thought being a power user meant something else.
I honestly don't know.
Like that you have a very modded or customized like browser experience with a lot of automations, or I don't really know what it means to be a power user.
Mm-hmm. Also, their Sodium Pen is their Twitter handle, their Twitter account name, which is just stuck out to me. They seem to be quite knowledgeable because she said Firefox is quite memory efficient and it's actually loading the websites. Isn't loading the website unless I click on the tab. I guess that's why.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. They are deactivated otherwise.
It's kind basically of just
dormant.
storing the address. This sounds like a Firefox ad. Now that we are reading this, it just sounds like we are paid by Firefox to say this.
Well, we're not, sadly.
I've also had my fair share of stupid Firefox problems in my days, but it's just that Chrome never managed to be any better. So, I think Firefox used to be better at some point. But yeah, that's that little bit that I had cooked up that we could talk about.
You're making me need to look into my settings later and see how to actually make Firefox restore my last session when I restarted. Because right now, like if I actually close the browser, it will clear all the tabs that I have open except for the ones that I have pinned. And I only pin them. I don't know if pinning is like a Firefox thing or a quirk of Sideberry, or like not a quirk, but a feature of Sideberry, which is the Firefox side tab that I use. Like
I think pinning is pinning is a normal feature. I think Chrome can also pin and stuff.
Yeah, but I basically like the things that I kind of constantly have open are these pinned tabs, and I have a few of them for each container.
Mm-hmm.
And then I might have some things that I have open because I'm kind of actively working on those things for a while, and at some point I'm just gonna kind of get rid of those.
Actually, when you pin something in Chrome, it always comes back, because I remember I had a video of a cat crunching some stuff pinned for like months, and it always would play immediately when I open Chrome.
Well, it's handy. Maybe you need Crunchy Cat immediately greeting you.
Well, I had it for stream when I'm gone, like it's an hour long to detain people, but then we realized it's like it's just a tiny loop, so it's actually kind of annoying. It took like a few weeks to realize that it actually was on a loop that only lasted like a minute or two.
So sad.
Yeah, so sad.
Loops like are such scam.
Scam. Mega scam. So disappointing. Yeah, well, you spent your last 2 days troubleshooting annoying things, I think.
I did. I got these new external microphones that I could connect to my phone, and I had these big ideas, big plans about how the whole streaming setup would work from the festival I'm going to. In the end, I just have to do stuff from this streaming software on the phone. I'm not gonna stream to the OBS at home on my computer or like whatever fancy shit. It's probably just gonna be average audio that sometimes crackles that I'm going to be able to stream, and questionable video. I don't know. The video could be good. I might have to lower the resolution I stream at. Maybe that helps with the audio. I don't know. It will be seen how it turns out, but I do have several devs that I said I would meet and interview. I announced on Twitter. It's official. God. I told them on Twitter that I'm going to be there. I put a photo of myself. They know now. It's too late to turn back.
Oof. Yeah. I mean, hopefully it works out. It's not
going to be... It can't be worse than last year. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Last year was the audio.
Last year was terrible. Last year was threatening to destroy people's eardrums, and it still had viewers for some reason.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yesterday you also had viewers during the terrible problems that you also had partially. I still don't.
People just like watching a train wreck, sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's why people watch my streams as well. Yeah. I still need to check because we do have the same phone now. Well, not the same. In Germany.
We shared the same phone, yeah. The exact same phone, right?
I don't know if people do this in English as much, but in Germany you distinguish between das Gleiche and dasselbe, which means an equal device, an equal thing. So a similar thing that is exactly the same, but it's not the same thing, because the same thing would literally be the one that I have and you are using it, you know? And there's a lot of
Oh,
there's a lot of
yeah.
pedantry in German when you do that, because people are das Gleiche, not dasselbe, because they would have the same thing, and I'm holding this though, so that can't be the thing.
I can never tell which one is which meaning, though, in German.
Das Gleiche just means it's equal in every way. So it's just.
But it's not the exact same unit. Like, it's not the exact item. It's just one that's basically identical. Is das Gleiche.
Yeah. And Francie in the live chat is commenting that only assholes do that, though. But there might be a lot of assholes in the world.
Yeah, I also see the reason why German would make this distinction, because in some situations it does make sense that you don't want to say that it's literally the same item as the other person that you're talking about, but you just have a copy of it, kind of.
Yeah, I do think this might be exclusively a German, maybe also some other languages in a similar environment to that, but I only know from German, which I just realized the pedantry, because we have the same phone, but technically it's not the same phone.
Yeah, we could say we have identical phones.
Yeah, I don't even know that. I don't know if you have the same color as I do and the same case and everything. My case is black.
I think mine is black too, because that was the cheapest.
Yeah,
and
makes sense.
That was the one that I found refurbished, like reduced.
Yeah, what I wanted to say is that I still hadn't tested if my phone microphone sounds as muffled as yours did on your test streams, because I also wanted to check that.
Well, you can totally check that and let me know, because I'm kind of concerned, because I bought both of these things used or whatever. I don't know if there's a hardware defect. I would be curious if there's a possibility of that.
That's hard to know. I don't know, really. With audio equipment, on high-end audio equipment, usually I feel like used is not bad, because things last a long time. But with phones, I wouldn't be as sure, even though they are more expensive than good audio equipment can be. Yeah. I hope it goes well. You know, you have a setup that you are running now. I mean, the weird crackliness wasn't the worst thing in the world. I think if it doesn't happen too often, it should still be fine. I hope. We'll see.
Well, it's up to for the viewers to reconcile for themselves if they want to put up with that or not.
Mm-hmm. You could try and figure out the local storage in the things you got, because I do believe they can store up to like 4 hours of audio. I'm not quite sure. If you want to retroactively put the audio onto the video, basically.
That sounds like such a mess.
Well, it would just be like you do a Marco Polo or something on stream, a clap, and then you use that audio cue to sync up the devices with the audio you captured with the video, you know?
Yeah. I don't know about bothering.
Yeah. I wonder if I could have given you my AirPods and you could have attached them to your phone, and you give the guest like one AirPod, you put it in their ear.
For what?
For a microphone.
Really?
Do you think disgusting and unhygienic? I don't.
You think the AirPods have better microphones than my phone has?
I don't know. I call with my AirPods all the time. I don't even own an Apple phone. It's the only Apple thing I have are AirPods, because they fit into my ears well. That's the only reason. They're comfortable. And they have pass-through, which is something I need for cycling, while also being able to still hear like a podcast, you know, and be safe. But I've never tested them with recording audio, really. But in phone calls, I thought they always sounded fine. I honestly don't know for sure. But some people use those wired headphones from their iPhones to do interviews with the microphone, and it's okay.
This is what I was gonna say, because that's actually what I use as earbuds.
Yeah,
like this is the only Apple thing I own, which is just the basic earbuds, and I always use them for streaming, because they're sturdy enough. They still are lasting after, I don't know, a year of having them.
Yeah.
But the problem was that then I would have to point that at people's mouths, which I don't even have like a setup yet that I'm totally sure about with the microphones. I don't know if I'm just going to give another transmitter to my guest, or if I'm going to mount the whole microphone on a stick and then point it at myself or at the other person.
I kind of like the having a microphone on a stick. I'm not gonna lie. That's I think that is something about it gives me confidence. It makes it fun. It gives it a very official air. Like I am interviewing you right now.
Well, I don't have a stick, but I do have a small plank I could put it on.
I've seen a lot of people use those mics and just put them on anything. A spatula, a pair of scissors, like anything.
I just don't want to carry too much stuff in my hands, because I will be carrying the phone thing as well, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it just feels like I might just drop stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I am known to drop things.
Dropka?
Dropka, yeah. That's my middle name.
Yeah, get a I don't know. I would have just used like the cheap €1 spatula I have from IKEA.
I like this plank that I have. It's a little thick though.
Ooh.
Might be too thick.
Tell me more about this plank.
Don't know what I could tell you except that it's thick. I think that's all you need to know.
Yeah, that's true.
All you need to care about.
That's true, yeah. Pictures of this plank, for that, donate to Anca on Twitch for photos of the thick plank.
Mm-hmm. You want to see that thick plank? $20. Now I'm just imitating Melon right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Melancholy. No free shoutouts though here, so find them wherever you want. Yeah, I have other topics. I don't know if we want to get into any of that. I don't know how much time we have left here.
Last thing that I want to say is the event that I've been talking about attending starts tomorrow and is going till Saturday evening.
It's a maze.
It's a maze.
Balls.
A maze balls in Berlin. No balls, just... yeah.
Yeah. They should just have a giant pair of like those fountains, you know, where they have those granite stones that rotate with water, and those would be the amaze balls.
Yeah, I wonder if I will remember and I actually meet the director, maybe I can tell him to add balls to the event, because he has too many flamingos, not enough balls.
Flamingos are such a vanilla quirky thing to do, though.
Yeah, I need to tell him, you know what? You know what's funny? Balls.
Yeah, it's like slightly more extroverted lawn gnomes is what flamingos are.
True, but they're extreme creatures. They're extremophiles, right? Maybe that's why the director likes them.
Maybe read the room before you broach that to them.
Look, I saw this man shirtless on a DJ stage. I don't think I need to be that cautious.
Okay, you'll be the judge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want me to get into any of these other things that I have on my docket?
Sure.
These things. One of them is kind of ranty. The other one is a game industry update, kind of. Not just. It's from a consumer perspective. The other side of the coin. You being a dev and me being a mega nerd that just plays a lot of things and learns too much things about all of them.
Sometimes I feel like you're more of a dev than I am.
It's just years of being a really invested nerd. Well, remember when I brought up... there's so much. There's so much. There's even more than I wrote down, actually.
Oh, dear.
Well, we talked about briefly, I think we might have talked about Escape from Tarkov and their problems, right? Did we do that? Capacity?
Not sure if we did that on the podcast, but...
Well, there was a ton of drama, and I'm not going to talk too much about it then, but if anybody was interested, then they introduced a version of the game that basically cost $250, and then they introduced features that also were pay to win. and they included an item that was supposed to be unique to another edition that cost 150 back then. It is now no longer available. So they broke basically what they promised back then for those people that bought the quote-unquote cheaper expensive edition.
Way to value your early supporters.
Yes. Yeah, well, funny that you should say that, because the COO of the company literally went out of his way to call people that paid $150 for that Edge of Darkness edition of Escape from Tarkov for $150, the cheaper, expensive one, freeloaders. Because
whoa,
he seemed like he felt like they were too entitled to getting things for being supportive.
Oh my freaking God, what?
Yeah. Well, then there were a lot of concessions made. All of them were kind of non-apologies. And this kind of gave people that had that Age of Darkness edition more features that were also pay to win. And then some small things for the cheaper editions of the game that were just kind of to shut people up. So the entire situation is still not remedied. It's still annoying. All the big streamers that used to stream Tarkov, apart from like 2 of them that for some reason broke the line, probably because they were too afraid of not making money, all other ones switched to different games or are not streaming Tarkov at all, basically.
Fair enough.
The category is now diminished to like a tiny fraction of what it used to be on Twitch. And the subreddit is insanely quiet because nothing has happened since. It's been over a week and it just has kind of died down. And I guess they stopped talking about it because they realize now that they've done all this stuff. Whatever else they do will just keep drawing attention to their shitty business practices and exploitative behavior.
Are they doing this tactic of let people forget?
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole thing, right? That's the rule book, or like more like the playbook on how to not get canceled kind of deal is. And here's the hot tip for anybody people are trying to get you canceled. You literally don't acknowledge it. That's the most powerful move you can make, because nothing will happen. You will have the least damage caused by not addressing it at all, basically.
Great.
Unless you address it perfectly. But that implies yet that you are a good person, which a lot of these people are not. So, yeah. And also there was an interview like from almost 10 years ago where Nikita, the COO of Escape from Tarkov, Battlestate Games, the company, was talking about how you have to keep like pressure, stress on the players, on the customers, because that makes them donate more money. So
what? How do you want to keep pressure on your customers?
Because cheaters create stress. They cause distress, and distress makes people invest so they can improve the game. And also, it turned out that a lot of people that would pay a lot of money were the people that also cheated in the game, kind of, funnily enough. I don't know. It's just this, it's kind of taken out of context because it's pretty old and they didn't have Escape from Tarkov back then. It was on the game they had before that called Contract Wars that Tarkov kind of grew out of. But it just shows this whole thinking behind the dynamic between cheaters, hackers, and like players.
It sounds sounds almost like Battlestate would have wanted cheaters.
Kind of. There's also
maybe they introduced their own cheaters, like on purpose.
I don't know that, but there's one insanely suspicious thing they do, which is they do bulk sales of their game. So you buy like 5 copies or more for less, which is kind of a weird way to purchase a game, unless, there's a reason why they expect people to buy them in bulk. That's always been a bit suspicious. But it's this entire thing of Tarkov has always been insanely burdened by cheaters, and it's always been a massive problem.
Wait, I'm not sure I understand why you're saying that buying like a bundle with several copies of the game is like suspicious necessarily. It kind of would hint that it encourages you to like bring your friends in or something. But
yeah, but cheaters usually they don't just cheat for fun. They also cheat for profit in Escape from Tarkov because you can pay in-game things for in-game things and buy in-game things from cheaters. So they boost your accounts. You buy a boosted account that has already done all the impossible quests, basically. or you get carried through raids by a cheater and they give you loot, which is in the game, like loot is persistent, but if you die, you lose it before you get out of the round. So you pay cheaters to get you through a round safely and get you very expensive loot to sell and make money with. And there's a lot of those transactions that are happening illegally in that game. It's like buying gold in an online role-playing game and stuff like that, like black market gold in World of Warcraft, for example. It's the same interaction, kind of. It's just more complicated in Escape from Tarkov because of the nature of the game.
Okay, but I personally still don't understand how does that relate to buying a bundle?
The reason I think why a lot of people connected that is that they put them on sale, and the game sales happen often after they've done a ban wave on cheaters. So a lot of people were suspecting that they put the game on sale, so a lot of people that got banned would be forced to buy the game again. So they would make money through cheaters buying the game again. That's what people were alleging.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because the cheaters want to get an account up again.
Yeah. But they cheat because they want to play the game, right? They still want to play the game, or they earn money with playing the game by cheating and selling services. So they have to buy it.
That does make sense, I guess.
I don't know. There's other factors, like it's possible people buy these games with stolen credit cards they buy on the dark web. So I'm not sure how feasible it is to make money with that. But in the end, I guess game keys are free because they're literally just a string of characters. So it's possible they were just exploiting that dynamic to make money. But apparently the latest behavior happened because they invested too much money into their spin-off Escape from Tarkov game, Escape from Tarkov Arena, which they hosted tournaments for, and people are suspecting that it put them in the hole for like millions of dollars, which they have to recoup now, which is why they introduced this new expensive edition that kind of breached the trust of the community. But I didn't get to fully talk about this, but the update on that is basically weirdly quiet. That's all I wanted to say about that. It's weirdly quiet. They just
laying low.
Yeah, the subreddit died down, which is the most discussed on platform for this game. And it feels like anybody that still cares just does about the game and once it's playing it might be on there, but a lot of people have actually just left uninstalled and stopped playing. And people are reporting there are more cheaters now, and then people claiming that that's because the ratio is off, because people are just not playing without being cheaters right now. Ethics and stuff, I guess, makes sense to some people. Maybe there is something there. And then, you can mod that game with a mod that I won't name here, but that also has a recent addition that you can play co-op on your own private sessions, so you don't even need their servers anymore. So apparently people are doing that instead.
So kind of like LAN, or like just inviting specific people, and you can...
I think it's P2P instead of the normal server system. Or you could probably also host a dedicated server. But it basically circumvents the entire game's matchmaking system, and you have a separate version of the game that you can mod and stuff. Yeah, so that's how a bunch of people are now playing as well. Because the trust to the company and the quality of the game has basically been, Yeah. Yeah.
Just industry shenanigans.
There's two other things. There was this massive meltdown last week over Helldivers because...
that was cool with the whole fucking PlayStation account enforcement.
There's a story of hope, which is so rare. You know, when people say, don't pre-order games, just don't pay for this. Don't buy the next FIFA where you have to gamble to get your team together. Don't buy the next EA title that is going to be full of microtransactions and it's going to be fixed over a year, and then it's actually kind of playable. All that shit, right? And people would still always pay the money and buy and pre-order. Well, people never managed to coordinate this in any way. And this is, funnily enough, the first time in my recent memory that this has actually really worked out, because Helldivers, when you bought it, it's set on the Steam page, which nobody reads, like a EULA. Nobody reads those things either. It's just people don't look at that. And if they can buy it, they'll buy it. And if they can play it, they'll play it. And it turned out when you logged in, you were asked to link a PSN account. like a PlayStation Network account.
Mm-hmm.
And that didn't work at the time. So they switched off the requirement. So if it didn't work for you, you could still play. So now, after the game being out for over a month, suddenly it turns out PlayStation's like, yeah, we are now turning this requirement back on entirely because it should work now. And you have to have a PlayStation Network account now. If you don't, you will not be able to play the game you bought, even though it worked before, even though it maybe shouldn't have, but that's not how people work. If I give you 20 euros and I want it back from you, and then I say, yeah, because I never meant to give it to you, right? You still feel shit because I take away something from you that you have.
Yeah, taking away stuff is the worst thing you can do.
That's the psychology behind it. And so many people were, I don't want to say the mean words, but so many people were defending this practice of taking this game from people when it wasn't their fault that they were able to buy it. I would have tried anyway as well if I didn't know if I could play it. And
yeah, but the thing is that if you had bought it and immediately at the time it wasn't going to work because you didn't have
it.
Exactly, but they because they allowed players to still play, then they took away their ability to refund, which is another reason to be pissed off.
Yeah, which technically is correct because by Steam's, this is all Steam, by the way, where people bought it on, because obviously if you played on PlayStation, you would have to have a PlayStation account to play online. But
at least there you know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah, actually, yeah. And funny enough, PlayStation 5, Sony sells that in countries that do not have PSN. Apparently. So yeah, there's a lot of countries that actually don't have access to the PlayStation Network. It's kind of weird. I don't really understand. And yeah, Steam just had it available everywhere, and Steam then apparently decided themselves to take access away to the game, so you could no longer buy it in those regions that shouldn't have been able to. And it sounded like it wasn't PlayStation that made that decision, so not Sony. I don't know how valid that claim is. That's a huge asterisk on there. But the game got review bombed. It got like 100,000 negative reviews on Steam.
Shit.
In a matter of days. It was crazy how mobilized people were. The funny part is the whole game's premise is they do major orders where you go to fight robots or bugs that are the enemy of Super Earth, the mega democratic, mega Earth like nation that is all unified under one umbrella. You know, it's like Earth is all happy and peaceful, but they fight the aliens now and the robots. So you get major orders that you're supposed to do it. Everybody bands together. Millions of people in the game band together for one goal. Really funny that, you know, they learn that this is the behavior that is encouraged by the game, and then that's the behavior they use to voice their opinion.
Maybe the game does teach you something nice beyond all the sarcastic bullshit that
I feel like it kind of slightly conditioned people or made them aware of this option also. And there were also a lot of people voicing against it. But yeah, a lot of affected regions and even non-affected regions made bad reviews. And the people at Arrowhead Studios who make the game were really sad about this. Some devs and community managers did kind of bad takes, which in the end were kind of a little stupid. But despite that, the CEO of the company, Pilestead, was
Pilestead.
Yeah, that's their name on Twitter.
Pile.
They have an image of a race car. I don't know if they actually drive Formula One cars, but who knows? Yeah,
Johan.
They understand that people are upset. They are Swedish, I think, a Swedish company, as far as I remember. And they also didn't like this. And Pilestead actually went on to say he is trying, despite Sony going through with this and people having been region locked on Steam and unable to play the games, to argue with Sony, and actually that all the bad reviews help because it gives them fodder to argue with Sony, which makes a lot of sense. And it's the most level-headed and based approach I've ever heard in response to drama like this, which is, I don't know, this was a very cool moment in video game history where people actually managed to cause good effect and it was received in a way that was reasonable and the right way to handle. And Sony buckled, and they actually waived away the requirement of a PlayStation Network account in like yesterday or 2 days ago or so, I think.
It was 2 days ago.
2 days ago. Okay, thanks. Yeah. Basically, it worked. And people have actually also turned around, and the big subreddit for it did a campaign of, here's our major order. Now delete your bad reviews and put in the factual thing, because now that's no longer true, and we won't want to punish the devs that worked so hard for us and stuff. And it turned around, and now the game is mostly positive again.
Well.
It all just kind of worked pretty well. I don't know. It made me chuffed, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, it does. It does. It is nice when consumers actually defend their rights and they make it clear that they're not going to put up with bullshit like this.
Yeah.
Because too much of the time people are just like, yeah, I don't care, or I still want to play the game, or,
Yeah, there's also the weirdness of still people defending it all the time. They're like, yeah, but you shouldn't have bought it. That's not the point. Why do you hate your rights as a consumer? It was false information as well, because apparently on the PlayStation website for the game, it said that some games, it's like, it's optional that you need the PlayStation Network account for games. And then they switched the wording, literally. The same thing Battlestate Games, by the way, did to make people believe that what they offered in the older versions of the game was actually something else than what it was. You can go back with the Wayback Machine and see there was different writing for Escape from Tarkov. And for the PlayStation Network thing, where they then changed it to mean that some games may require you to have a PlayStation Network account instead of it's optional.
Yeah, they tried to retcon that shit.
Yeah. Some people make stupid decisions. And the thing is, you also have to understand always, I think, that it's not necessarily always in mean spirit, and it's not like a massive conspiracy in the company. Sometimes it's just one person making the decision to do a change.
Yeah, I just wonder why the hell they were so adamant about making people use the PlayStation Network accounts when they were already connected via Steam. I don't really get, I guess they wanted to collect more information or control the players that had access better, but I still don't really get why.
One community manager kept insisting, and they got so much hate on Twitter that they had to delete their account, sadly. But their take was also very weird. They kept claiming they needed the PlayStation Network IDs to keep the game free of cheaters and ban people properly.
Mm-hmm.
And that it would make the game so much safer if everybody was forced to use the PlayStation Network ID and not the Steam ID. Which maybe that's true. Maybe they coded it to only use the PlayStation Network ID with reporting and stuff because they thought everybody would have it instead of having two different ones, like the PlayStation ID and then the Steam ID, which is easy to get. But yeah, easy change. But this person insisted on that, and that riled up people, of course. And the other theory is that because PlayStation Network accounts let them collect data. That's all.
I mean, the data angle would make sense, I guess. Yeah. I don't know what data they need to collect that Steam doesn't provide, but maybe that's
also one user's data isn't worth one sale, I think.
You know how marketing works, though. They collect data so they can sell more down the line.
Yeah. Oh, I guess also maybe it did hurt, and they changed it because they realized Steam was giving refunds because the game actually wasn't available anymore. Some people were getting refunds. Not all of them, but a lot of them were. So I guess it did hit them in the wallet, which is always the best place to hit a company.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Not in the balls, but in the wallet.
Well, I guess the balls of the company.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say, but you got there first. Proud of you.
Sorry. Yeah. Well, they're often also made out of skin. Leather and stuff.
Yeah, ball leather.
Mm-hmm. And people will keep their loads in it, their loads of cash.
Yeah, that's why you say you blew your entire load on that new PC rig or whatever people buy. That's the secret behind that phrase, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's entirely it, yes. Yeah. There sadly is one more entry in this roundup of game company problems.
Oh, please, why do you have to make me suffer like this?
What do you mean?
Bringing all the industry bullshit shenanigans to me as if I wasn't already exhausted by all this shit that I read from like companies closing down or people fucking over players or publishers being greedy or whatever, you know? You got more? Okay, bring it. Why don't you?
Well, I also just Googled cat news, but it doesn't seem promising.
Oh, nice try. Nice try. Well, what's your last topic then?
Yeah, well, I did talk about this with the ALG, the North American Apex tournament, where we looked at clips from that, where like some of the biggest streamers got hacked in the tournament, and somehow through the game client, people were able to introduce wall hacks into the game somehow, which is bonkers. And this hacker kept advertising themselves and another person as Destroyer 2009.
Whoa.
From the accounts that were hacked during the tournament. They kept spamming the chat. And there was a security hole. I uninstalled Apex because people were like, yeah, this is sus. And the company was like, yeah, be careful. And then they were like, oh, actually, no, there's nothing wrong. After a few days, it was all fine, apparently. The breach was handled or whatever. They didn't communicate a lot, but people kind of assumed that, yeah, what they'd said last, that it's actually fine. That meant that maybe they had done something. Well, yesterday they released a new season of Apex Legends with a bunch of fun changes, like balance stuff and such. I've been playing it. And then interesting thing happened. You know, the biggest streamer that was in that tournament that got hacked, actually their account got banned for that too, because it's an EA company. Of course, they handle this the fairest way. They just banned the affected person instead of figuring out what happened first.
Great, yeah.
And this streamer has been playing for a month on a new account because their old one was hacked. So in the new season, you know, they start a lobby, they start their stream, and you know, who do they get joining their lobby other than, well, look at that, it's actually their account that is banned joining their team. They're being in their squad somehow.
It's not Destroyer 2009?
Yeah, the very same.
Wait, and Destroyer 2009 joined the lobby?
With Hal, which is the person with Hal's account, with Hal's banned account that has like 1,700 levels in Apex, which is like insane.
So that account was no longer banned?
Yeah, the hacker somehow unbanned their account.
Wow.
And then got into their squad.
How do you unban an account?
I don't know. People are saying maybe this person is in the dev's pockets. Maybe this person has like access to admin level stuff for some reason. It's kind of weird. The only thing I have going for identifying where this person might be from is maybe it's Russia.
Or did EA like unban the account without the actual owner of the account realizing? Maybe. And then the account got hacked again right away.
Like, maybe they intervened the information. They somehow got in between and grabbed the account. I don't know what happened after. I don't know if the hacker's like, I'm going to give you your account back now. I don't know. But even then, how would you trust anything now at that point? But that's not the only thing that happened.
There's more.
Sadly, yeah.
No.
Yeah. Wait. There's more. I actually put this in the Trello. I have to pull this up. Yeah, we have a screenshot here from Reddit that if you want to show that's when Imperial Hal was in a lobby and the hacker joined with his old account.
Oh, there is footage, huh? TSM Imperial Hal and TSM Imperial Hal. Except one of them has brackets at the end.
Yeah, the new account is the one in the front, and the one in the back is the old account.
So this is the hacked one, the one with all the brackets in the username.
Yes, and the fancy skin and all that crap, and the icon that tells you that if you know enough, this person has like reached max level 3 times, I believe, and which is 500. So this is the 1,700 is the level of this account, which, yeah, that's insane. I'm like 200, I think. And yeah, that's, I don't know. And you see the voice, the in-game chat between Imperial Hal and the hacker.
Come on, son, we playing ranked? Handshake.
Yeah, the hacker's like, hey, are we playing ranked? And Hal is like, I am, yeah. And Hal says to the hacker, I just got back. Can I be in peace for 1 day? Yeah.
So until season 21? What is season 21?
Season 21. This might have happened like a little bit before season 21. I'm not entirely sure about the timing of this. But season 21 came out yesterday. Yeah.
That's a lot of seasons of Apex.
Yeah, that is a lot of seasons. I've played since the very first one, believe it or not. But I haven't played for like 20 in between. And then the other thing that happened is that Mandy, another big Apex person apparently, they joined a ranked lobby with another person, Master Diamond. No, actually, no. They are Master rank, which is like very high. It's the highest you can be before you get a number as an actual rank, because the first few hundred people actually get their number literally in the world. So what happened here is that
I am so lost on all this Apex talk because I literally have never played it.
Well, let me tell you, this person, Mandy and Anca, I don't know if that's how you say the nicknames, but that's what I'm going to call them. They were queuing into a ranked session. 2 people were queuing into a ranked session. I believe they would have had their team filled up with a 3rd person in that case, if I'm not mistaken, because in the first screenshot, you see that on their team is someone with a Russian name.
Yeah, this up here.
And then in the top feed on the right, yes, in the top right, the entire feed, everybody that is getting killed or downed is the same name with a number. So what happened is that as soon as they queued into the lobby, their entire lobby was all bots spawned by Destroyer 2009. The entire ranked lobby was just spawned by the hacker. All the characters were controlled by the hacker.
I can't really, like, I'm looking at some screenshots. They are so pixelated. I cannot really read. I just see the username Mandy.
Yeah.
Mand.
I don't know how to say it either.
And it's
the 2 colored names, the orange and the green name. And then on the right are all the bots that are getting killed.
Yeah. But like... Who spawned in the bots?
Destroy 2009 apparently is said to be the person that spawned all the bots with them.
How do they know that that is the account of Destroyer 2009?
I'm not sure where. It might have been in the chat that they said that it was them. I'm not entirely sure. But what happened on Twitch, this is what the claim is, that this also was the same person. And somehow grabbing these 2 people and putting them in an entirely manufactured lobby full of bots.
Interesting.
Which we normally would have a matchmaking system that would match you with other players. And this somehow got hijacked by, I don't know by who, but this somehow got hijacked. And they are in a ranked lobby. I think that's practically factual. And it's just confusing because the entire lobby is just controlled by somebody. It's all bots that charged them. Like you can see in the first screenshot that there's like a horde of characters, pretty pixelated, but they are running towards them.
Yeah, I see them. It's a shit ton. But like, I don't know how Apex works. Like, how many players are in the arena when 60. You have a match? 60. So it was just these 2 guys who were matching up together.
Yeah, with 58 bots or something.
Yeah, so it's not like, I don't know, it could have been accidental that they matched up with 1 guy and some bots.
Mhm.
But this
Well,
guy,
the
he actually.
claims it was 40 plus bots.
So were there other real players in there too, except for just like these two and the destroyer guy?
It's possible, yeah. I don't know the entire makeup of the lobby. That would be interesting to see. It's just the entire point of this is just that Apex didn't fix it, and they might have lied about them being on top of it. And it's just kind of funny, and I don't know. It's kind of weird that I mean, there's a video there apparently. Yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I'm just not really able. Like this is very bad video quality
Yeah, true.
for me to see much at all.
Yeah. It's just more mess in the game industry that weirdly transpires within like a month. 3 different companies. Actually, 3 different companies just having weird mess ups and weird big problems. All of them actually also involve hackers in some way. So, yeah. That's it.
Yeah. Interesting.
And people say that apparently the motivation, which I'm not sure where they get that information from, is that Respawn or EA don't have a bounty program for backdoors, bugs, and stuff that people find. So they just decided to mess around. That's what is claimed.
Just because they can, and not because they're actually trying to get rewarded for discovering vulnerabilities.
So this is someone with way too much skill in whatever they do,
and too much free time. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they are a hacker that is able to cash in on bounties and they don't have to worry about anything. I don't know. Maybe it's just somebody that has a weird connection that allows them to do this. I've never heard of this person, but they like to advertise their name.
Yeah. Who is the person behind the account?
Yeah. I don't know.
So mysterious.
Then there's other people saying like, this is just a marketing thing. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like if it was, the bot names wouldn't be all Russian. That kind of is another thing.
But that could also be for show. Like, it doesn't mean that the hackers are actually Russian.
No, exactly.
Could just be masquerading as Russian.
Yeah.
The conspiracy can go all the way.
It can, yeah. There's other people saying that there's just lobbies full of like with 20 bots or something that all just drop in one spot, because that's something that happened before too, where Apex has like a problem with hackers too. Every online game has. Nobody has fixed that problem yet. There is like a mass of bots. You can pay for boosting services, or hackers, cheaters boost their accounts in ranks so they can play higher ranks or whatever. So they drop into a lobby and they have like 20 bots drop in one position and one player kills them all. So they get a lot of points, basically.
So is the rank dictated by just how many points you have?
When you play ranked, you get awarded on placement and kills, basically. That's like the easiest way to get points, and just getting a lot of kills no matter what placement you get. I mean, if you kill 20 bots, your placement already goes higher because they died. But the kills give you points too. And that's like a way to boost, I guess.
No, I mean, what is placement?
Oh, there's like in League of Legends, like in all of these games, you start out as like a rookie or like bronze or something, right?
Yeah.
And then you climb up the ranks until like diamond or whatever, the master rank, grandmaster, all that stuff. All these games that have ranked systems do this ranking stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in Apex, you climb up to master, and then you can become an Apex Predator, which is like the top 750 people or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the name is so fucking silly, but...
And if you boost your account high to those levels, you can fuck with streamers. You know, I don't know, whatever motivation you want. You want to mess with high-level players, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. Or you want to sell an account that is already in Masters or Diamond.
Yeah, I guess you could could get some decent money for that.
I mean, that also happens in League of Legends, you know. Yep. That's basically it. Yeah. I mean, there's the League of Legends thing. They introduced a new antivirus thing, which is annoying. And anti-hacking thing, I mean.
Ah, League, you've been back?
I wanted to be back. I booted it up. It installed a third-party application. I mean, it's not third-party. Technically, it's their shit. Vanguard, which requires to be on when you boot your computer. And if you close it, you have to restart your computer with it on, because otherwise you're not allowed to go into games. And for some people,
Jesus,
it disabled programs that they needed to use their computer because Vanguard decided that stuff is a hack or whatever. It has access on your computer to basically do whatever it wants, turn shit off if they want to, and just mess around. And
that's pretty scary. Pretty breachy.
Yeah. That doesn't make the news for me, though, because for some reason that's just Riot Games behavior. Sadly.
I don't know how they were doing the like anti-cheat stuff before.
They had a different system, which was still, I think, a kernel level anti-cheat, but it didn't mess with your computer as much. And they introduced this one day after I reinstalled League of Legends.
Nice timing.
Yeah, perfect timing. And now I installed Dota 2 again, which
well,
is like,
good that they nipped you in the bud, before you started getting hooked on that shit.
Yeah.
They were looking out for you, to deter you from playing.
Yeah, the easiest way to keep me from playing that game, I guess. Yeah. Well, I installed Dota 2 again, but it's like, I have friends that will keep inviting me to games that enable me if I do that. I've not played that for a long time.
Well, did you get invited?
Not yet, because I haven't played while they were online, so they didn't see that I haven't installed.
Oh, shit. Gotta be sneaky.
That game and Counter-Strike 2 Go is what I get invited to randomly all the time. It's like, hey, you want to play this game that makes us all incredibly toxic, right?
I keep bumping things.
It's fine. It's not very loud. Well, I guess that's it. I guess that's the podcast, right?
Yeah, that's a pod.
That's a pod. We potted.
We've potted so hard.
We potted so hard. Now we got to wipe and flush. I mean, we use the bidet. We're cultured over here. Clean and cultured.
Look, I don't have a bidet.
Well, like you can borrow mine.
Sounds inconvenient.
Yeah, that would be so annoying. That's the worst part about owning a bidet?
There is one?
Yeah. There's an incredibly annoying downside to owning a bidet. Pooping in other places.
Oh no. So the fact that you can't just have a bidet all the time.
Yes.
It
feels
not
yeah.
It's not. Look, that is not a flaw with the bidet.
It's how it feels. It's so vile and disgusting to not have a bidet anywhere else and just use toilet paper. It's just an insane downgrade, and I don't like pooping anywhere else anymore.
You really need one of those handheld portable ones then.
I don't want to be the weird nutcase that carries
this like rubber ball thing. Yeah, you have like this pipe thing, and you just like squirt that into your
into your crevasse
crevices.
The one that they advertise and sell in Germany, and they advertise on podcasts and stuff, is Happy Po.
Happy Po.
Yeah, which means happy butt.
Is it a German thing? Why does it have a German name? Half German, half English.
It is a German name, Happy Po.
Yeah, I'm looking this up.
Boring English names. I guess the podcast isn't entirely over. We need a fun thing. This is the fun thing.
Oh, it's even coming with a travel bag.
Yeah, you get it with a travel bag. I don't know how I would have to have a backpack on me always when I travel, and then I would have to carry it into the bathroom. And then I need to put water in it too.
Yeah.
So
it comes in all these colors. Wow.
Yeah. People would know what you're up to. And I don't want to be the weirdo standing in the public bathroom being like, hey, are you done washing your hands? I need to fill up my Happy Po.
Yeah, you know what you gotta do? You gotta urinate in it.
Because
and then reuse the water.
Jesus Christ. Why?
Well, that's the only way you're gonna get it filled up without risking anybody seeing you.
How is there a 50% voucher for that?
I don't know. That's insane. You could get this for $15 right now.
What's the point of selling it for $30 if you have a 50% off deal?
I don't know. Just to give you the satisfaction of, oh, I'm getting such a deal. Oh, I'm dealing so hard. Oh,
I'm dealing so hard right now.
Oh my God, such great deals.
Oh. I've been dealt. Yeah, there you go. I just don't want to go into a bathroom, wait for nobody to be around to fill it up, because otherwise it's like, yeah, I have to just fill this weird looking alien probe thing because I'm going to take a massive shit, you know? Otherwise, why do you have it? It's like an announcement. It's like, hey, I'm just filling up my poop power washer.
Well, you know, power washer Sims will understand. You know, it even has a wall mount that you can purchase. You can attach this to the wall.
How convenient.
Happy Paw wall mount for the butt shower.
Was a decorative piece. It's
yeah,
$15. Wow, that's so cheap.
This is $13 because it's also on a deal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just hook it onto this little thing that grabs it strategically. Yeah.
That doesn't look like it should be worth that much money.
Also, there is a butt-shaped vase here in the presentation.
Oh, wow. That is very Jason Adler.
Yeah, Jonathan Adler-esque. Yeah. I don't know if he came up with all those ceramics that have butt and boobs.
Put some ice cubes in that, shake it up, you know, and give yourself a nice little wake-up call in the morning.
Oh, yeah. Or whichever time of the day you use this. Yeah. Happy-po. Happy-po.
Happy-po.
It's a peepo.
It's a peepo for your poo-poo.
Yeah, you gotta keep it in the fridge overnight.
Mm-hmm.
You have it ready. The moment you wake up, you take it out of the fridge.
I would still advise just buying one of those attachments that fits between your toilet seat and the bowl that you just attach to your water stuff.
Yeah, sure, but you complained that if you go anywhere else outside your home, you are stranded. You cannot shit because...
Yes, but I'm not going to carry around the device that reports me on what I'm about to do. I don't want to have to... If I'm at work and there's another person there during my shift, I don't want to open my backpack, grab out the weird thing that is massive and colorful, and just awkwardly sneak it into the bathroom.
Okay, look, I have two solutions for you. I presented one, which is to piss in it. You said no, that somehow is beyond your dignity.
Somehow it's beyond my dignity.
But the other option would be you fill it up with water from the toilet. The toilet tank.
Do you have to get it in there?
Either get it in there or like flush while you hold it into the toilet bowl that it like flushes in it.
Look, do you want to be the person that causes a plumbing incident at work?
Okay.
They accidentally lodged their Happy-po in the toilet bowl and can't get it out.
Yes, why not? At least you make it in the name of being, you know, clean. You know, it shows that you're a very meticulous and orderly person.
You know what you'll cause? You'll cause a newsletter, like a round trip mail for everybody that is saying, please don't bring any sanitary devices with you to work from home.
Yeah, a mail, like a round trip mail, and also like they're also gonna leave a freaking printed note above the toilet seat.
Yeah, they'll make a photo of the incident so everybody can see what happened, and they'll pin it on the toilet. Mm-hmm. And they'll name and shame you.
Worth it.
Yeah, no, they just say someone, you know, and everybody will know. They always.
How will they know? How do they find out so easily?
It makes its rounds. It just happens, you know.
Okay, here's a third option that I can envision. What if you have the happy Poe and you have a very innocent, plain old water bottle that you both like carry them together. You fill up the water bottle when you're in the kitchen, let's say at work or wherever. You're like, I'm thirsty, man. I need my water bottle with me everywhere. And then you go into the bathroom and then you just like transfer the liquid. Look, this is the least.
Take a water bottle into the bathroom as well. I just get so dehydrated when I poop, so I just always gotta have a water bottle.
Yeah, you have to replenish all the lost nutrients immediately.
Yeah. I just replenish the water instantly.
Yeah. Look, this is the least problematic solution. I think you cannot claim that this one still has issues.
Yeah. Sure. Maybe I could just plead for work to install bidets. I'm also kind of surprised how few workplaces have bidets. Like,
mine doesn't have it either.
Company, I feel like they're fairly progressive. They are unisex bathrooms. I don't know. It's a very nice place. They seem open-minded, but there's no bidet.
Unforgivable.
There's no bidet. I don't know why. It baffles me. I don't.
You know what? I'm happy that at my office they don't do the like shared bathrooms, because I never want to step foot into the bathroom with the urinals, because I have heard that they get stuck so often there and the shit's just pulled up. I never want to go in there.
What?
I don't know. People are complaining very often in the Discord server of my workplace because they're like, oh, shit's pulled up in there and it stinks. Why is this fucking stuck? Why is this liquid not going down?
Feels like your place has a plumbing issue.
Maybe, but it keeps happening. I don't know what's going on.
My work has stalls that are for women, and then also a stall base. When you enter the bathroom, there's one bathroom that does have men and women's, because it's just a room with a urinal and a normal toilet that you lock. And it's not like it's just for men though, because the men's room also has a bin for hygiene products. So it doesn't matter basically, but it's more like what gender you identify with. And then there's another bathroom where you go in, and there's two pooping rooms that have pink doors or something, that are more female coded, I guess. And then you have, at the end, you have like a green door that leads to a urinal and a poopy room for men, basically. And
a poopy room.
You can lock it's funny because you step into like a tiny room with the urinal. It's not that, it's big enough that you can lock, but there's another door in that room that leads further into the pooping room that also locks.
So you could basically lock somebody in there.
I maybe, kind of. Not really, because, they are all open from the inside. But you could lock off the urinal just for pooping too, because you don't want anybody using the urinal while you're pooping.
That makes sense. I think that the whole urinal thing is just atrocious. I don't know why people invented those and why they still use them.
It's quick, I think, and it can be space efficient, I suppose. I don't know. The urinal at my work is really neat and it works really well.
I just don't want to be anywhere near a fucking urinal.
You don't have to be.
This is the only reason why I would not really like to have shared bathrooms. It's not because I care if a dude is in the stall next to me. I just don't want to be around a fucking urinal.
Well, it gets cleaned like every day. Like, I have not had a shift. I have shifts during the weekend. I have not had a single shift that went on till the night where there wasn't someone coming in to clean up.
Yeah, but I mean, I also don't want to watch the person using the urinal.
Well, you don't watch them because they close the door.
Yeah, but there are bathrooms where the urinals are just there, open.
Yeah, but they don't have to be.
Yeah, sure. I'm okay with that. But if they're not closed, that's fucked up, man.
You don't want to be near a urinal that is in use.
Yes.
Well, that's reasonable. I don't want to be either necessarily. I thought you were a universal urinal hater.
I mean, I'm also kind of wary about the fact that they might clog up faster or they might have too much residue left. I don't know, though.
Because they do the plumbing shittily and they buy cheap urinals. Like the ones on my gym, they are small and they kind of are really shit. And they smell nice when they're fresh because they put in like these weird mats that have like a hex mesh that for some reason causes the pee to not splash back as much or whatever. And they also like leave, when they get wet, they emit like a smell that counters the urine, I guess.
Wow.
And then they also, it's so bad in there sometimes with the smell. Now they put like 2 of those urinal pucks in there too. So it's basically overkill on fighting the urine smell, and it's still at the end of before getting cleaned, it still stinks. It's nasty.
Yeah. So isn't it the design of the urinal which is the reason why the
still
urine
liquid that pools underneath the urinal somehow in the gym? I don't know how.
Ugh.
It's disgusting but it's still better than sitting on those toilet seats and feeling the nastiest ever because Jesus, I hate
I also hate sitting on public toilets. That's true.
But the ones at my work, sparkling clean. I don't know. They're just really nice. They're kept well. Everyone is minding them well enough. The urinal is weirdly huge. I don't know, but I think that adds to its purpose somehow and works good. Well, kind of know. The fun thing about it is when you pee in it, there's no sensor anywhere that you see. But there's some thing in there that detects when you're done peeing and it flushes. And I don't know how it does it.
Wow, magic.
Because it's literally just the porcelain urinal and like a stainless polished steel backing, so it's easy to clean the surroundings. I don't know. There's no sensor that I can see. And I didn't dare poke my head in the urinal to see if there was any in there.
Not yet.
Not yet. But if I was to, I would be assured that it was fairly clean compared to other urinals that I've encountered. Well, this was this week's episode of this stuff. One day we'll have a name, jingles. If you have a jingle, send it in at shalamabiz with a Z at the end at gmail.com. If you have questions, opinions, if you're outraged about anything we said, please send it in. I don't know. If you're mean, I don't care. I won't read it. If you're nice, I'll read it. Follow us on the Twitches. In the description, probably, Anca Stasia and Shalama _ and on all over the place. See you next week. Here's the jingle. Beep, beep, boop, 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 beep, boop, boop. That's it.